In chronological order, this is the second Transformers movie. It takes place during the 90s, shortly after Bumblebee. We find a kid struggling with how he's able to provide for his family.
My character Noah is ex-military.
Pete Davidson is the voice of Mirage. He's kind of like the rebellious Autobot.
You looking good, man? There you go. Now we're friends.
Elena works at the museum. She's investigating something which brings Noah into her life. Who are you?
The janitor.
Really? And that kind of opens a whole new world for her.
There's a lot of action, there's humor,
Stranger danger!
and there's a lot of heart. They're going against their biggest nemesis ever.
Everything you cared for will be consumed.
They've never faced anything like this before.
Let them come.
Welcome back everybody, this is Comodin Cam. In today's video we have got so much Transformers Rise of the Beast footage. Be careful for spoilers because there are some scenes that kind of spoil a little bit of the film, not too much. Don't worry, I won't be covering all the TV spots that we'll get in the next few weeks because I want to be left surprised still. This was just kind of thrown at me on Twitter and I couldn't help but watch because we get some really exciting stuff, most specifically Cheetor and Rhinox in their robot modes. We see a Cheetor transformation. It starts off with the behind the scenes footage where we get a bit of an insight into Noah and Elena's story arc. Noah obviously being ex-military, and well, this is something unique for the film to take this kind of dark direction, like we're going to really see him struggle from coming back from the war. We actually have a kind of more personal story, you know, obviously involving the military, which explains why he's actually really good at fighting in this film. You know, he has that experience there. Noah's just trying to provide for his family, and Elena's trying to figure out what the devices, the transwarp key, the big MacGuffin, and it's actually shaped like Airazor, so that will probably be why Airazor is actually in that museum. Maybe Airazor is not spying on the Autobots, but she's actually trying to find the transwarp key. Now, something a lot of people have been goofing on in this behind the scenes trailer is Battletrap's running animation. Poor guy, it looks like he's ready to crap himself. The way how he's running like that. I don't know why he's running like that, but I really don't want him to die in the film now. Twitter user Rise of the Beast trailer has uploaded a TV spot. It is low quality footage. We haven't got a HD version of it yet, but it still looks pretty cool, pretty badass. We get a lot of footage in this TV spot of Optimus Prime with Noah. We also get a lot of Optimus Prime versus Scourge during the chase sequence, and I think we all guessed that, yeah, Optimus Prime would be the one taking Scourge on during this scene. We also have this incredible shot of Optimus Prime with his battle axe. Now this is so badass. I'm so happy he's actually holding it. It doesn't like come out of his arm or anything. Don't get me wrong, I loved the Energon blades and all that from the Michael Bay movies. I think they're one of the best features of that Optimus Prime design, but it's actually just kind of cool to see Optimus Prime with his axe. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the axe's colours are kind of dull, being all silver. I'm guessing and hoping that they light up orange, you know, for that extra flame effect, because he does have his Energon swords still, like we saw in the teaser trailer, so he will be using his swords, so I kind of hope that that battle axe lights up orange as well. Other than that, this is incredible. This is obviously going to be towards the very end of the film, I imagine, when they're destroying the machine that's well, we don't really know. It's either bringing Unicron to Earth, or it's the contingency plan if Unicron can't destroy Earth himself, or crazy theory going around at the minute that actually Unicron is preparing to become Earth itself, which explains why the confusion to whether or not this is actually a reboot is still up in the air. I can't believe we're still talking about this. It was stated to be a reboot, but now they seem to be backing down on that idea by the insinuation of Steven Caple Jr. at the very start of the behind the scenes scene. And chronologically, this is the second Transformers film where it's like, what do you mean by that? Because Lorenzo Di Bavantro, an unfortunate long-time producer on these Transformers movies, is constantly talking, and he keeps talking to the point where he's confusing fans, and he's confusing, I think, even people at Paramount and Hasbro on whether or not this is a full reboot. What is the direction of these movies? And it's been an issue since the Bumblebee movie. And the fact is, I don't even think they say it's a reboot, and then next minute they seem to sort of dial back, and it's like they can't commit to their own film in continuity what it's supposed to be, and it's really a headache. And I'm actually starting to get really irritated by it, because you got fans in the comments saying it's a sequel to Bayverse and then it's not, and it's like, we know it's a reboot, but then at the same time they keep on dialing back, they keep pushing back that idea. There's something stopping Steven Caple Jr. from making his own Transformers film, his own vision, his own universe. And I feel like Lorenzo Di Brontura is one of the biggest issues in this Transformers film series, and every time he talks, he irritates me, and at the minute it seems to get even more confusing by that insinuation of Steven Caple Jr. there. Chronologically, you mean to Bumblebee, right? This brand new timeline, not because Lorenzo Di Brontura in an interview a few weeks ago recently mentioned how Optimus Prime's character development, how he is like in 2007 is very different compared to this, and we're going to see him get to that stage. Now, my insinuation of that was that version of Optimus Prime is yet to be developed in this reboot, but we will eventually get to how he was like in 2007, not actually 2007. It's very confusing. I mean, the whole Transformers movie timeline is confusing in itself, because they can't even commit to a single story. Michael Bay could never do that with the franchise. But the thing is, if whatever the Terrorcons are plotting, I mean, there's so many plot lines already in this film that cannot connect to Bayverse. But I feel like they're going to just kind of ignore it and never acknowledge the elephant in the room on if it's a reboot or it's a sequel. I feel like it's this movie better answer if it's a reboot or I don't know, a spiritual sequel to The Last Night. I mean, I am worried that they are trying to get Unicron into Earth, and that would explain why Unicron is Earth in The Last Night. I mean, I don't know. I've just thought about that as I'm doing this video, and I'm kind of like skeptical and worried about their direction. It's all Lorenzo's fault, naturally. The more he talks, I feel like there's a lot of divide behind the scenes when it comes to this movie, which would explain a lot of rumors that there's been a messy production, whether or not that's due to special effects or, production, or like with Paramount and Hasbro butting heads and producers butting heads, and, with Steven Caple Jr. So far, the marketing for this movie has been pretty strong towards the, release of this film, which is a good thing. We are getting more marketing. There's a lot of posters. There's a lot of TV spots they'll be rolling soon. A lot of stuff. I'm actually quite impressed with the marketing. It feels natural to kind of hype it all up as we're getting, only a few weeks off, a month even, towards the film. But there is still this looming part in everybody's head going, they better acknowledge that this is a reboot, because they've confirmed, they did say it was a reboot. So it's like, oh, cool. Why are we still having this discussion, man? So yeah, it's kind of a little rant tangent I went on there, but it's something I've always tried to avoid talking about, because it's like I want the movie to say it's a reboot. I don't want it to be connected to Bayverse, because I feel like they're good as their own. They're their own thing, but then there are fans that want that true sequel. Well, this was supposed to be the spiritual success to what The Last Night could have been. I don't know, but yeah, if you couldn't tell, I am extremely tired of this discussion, this debate. It has been frustrating my head for all these years now, debating about it. So honestly, I'm going to wait for the film and just hope for the best. Just hope that it's a good film, and regardless of whatever they actually end up doing, changing their minds at last minute, who knows? I feel like I'm still going to enjoy this film regardless. Now let's talk about something happy. I want to sound more energetic. I'm sorry for going on that sort of sad trip we just had to take there. That's what Lorenzo tends to do to you. So, we got Cheetor transforming. This is so badass. I love this. We get a little bit of Rhinox as well. Rhinox looks really, really cool. We actually got the CG promo render of Rhinox today, and Cheeto looks really badass. That is such a slick transformation. I hope we get more of them in their robot modes in the film. There's a lot of theories at the minute that Airazor does not have an actual robot mode in the film. She will stay in her beast mode, which would be unfortunate and a waste. I mean, her toys have 2 different designs. We've got a Studio Series and the mainline, and either one of them could be how she actually looks in the film. I am going to go with the Studio Series. I feel like the Studio Series one is better, even though I like the head more on the mainline. We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully she does at some point. But there we have it, guys. That's all I want to talk about in the brand new footage we have. We're going to get a lot more, and honestly, I'm not going to talk about all of it because I want to be left surprised with the film. But this is so badass. Once again, special thanks to Rise of the Beast Trailer, the fan Twitter account, for recording this. Really cool. We'll be getting HD versions soon, so don't worry about that, guys. That's why I decided to make the behind the scenes for the intro of this video instead of that. So to be updated on all Transformers Rise of the Beast news, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell to get all updates instantly. This has been Comodin, and until the next video, goodbye.